This video is sponsored by PokemonStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCG code cards. They are compatible with TCG Live, and you can of course get everything on the website for 5% off using the coupon code ZapdosTCG. This video is also sponsored by CARDMARKET.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can do it as well. And you can use the referral name ZapdosTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by YourPlaymat.com. This is a platform where you're able to, of course, create your own custom playmat. They have, of course, capabilities to ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So definitely check it out. Last but not least is Dragon Shield, the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. You can of course there's links down below for US and European people, and you can of course get your best quality sleeves available, as well as deck boxes and binders. Thanks so much for sticking around with the commercials. I hope you enjoyed today's upload. If you do, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and yeah, let's get this video going. Sup YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG uploads, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future uploads. Today we're going to be taking a look at which decks we will be losing with rotation. As we all know, the rotation will be taking place when our 5th Scarlet and Violet set will be released, and that's going to be at the end of March. So EUIC will be a tournament in the rotation format. So I already talked about all the cards we're losing, so definitely check that video out if you haven't already, so you have a little bit of an understanding. As a little bit of summary, we're going to be losing Battle Styles, we're going to be losing Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, and it's going to be quite the impactful situation. Also, Fusion Strike will be rotated. So with that being said, we're going to be taking a look at all the deck lists that currently are performing well in today's format, so we can take a look at which archetypes will be removed from play because the attackers are no longer around, which decks will have to adapt, and which decks have an easy time going into rotation, making it a great way for newer players to get already some practice with these decks because they will not be rotating. Also, a huge thing is that Battle VIP Pass will be rotating, as well as Escape Rope, so there's going to be a lot of decks having to adapt to that kind of rotation kind of thing. So I think most of the decks will, instead of relying on like, only like 2 or 3 Ultra Ball and all that stuff, we'll have to go with Max for Nest Ball, for Ultra Ball. But with that being said, this video is all about, all the decks that will make it past rotation and will be actually removed from play. And the first example is here, Rapid Strike box. The entire line gets rotated from Inteleon through Urshifu, through Octillery, Medicham, all the Rapid Strike Pokemon, even all the battle styles in general. So Rapid Strike, Single Strike, and Fusion Strike all rotate out of the format during that rotation that we're going to be, of course, feeling the effect in the beginning of April. So that's going to be really impactful. So no longer we're going to be using this archetype. This will be removed from the game. Another huge crazy thing is that Path to the Peak will also rotate. So huge things in my opinion probably are VIP Pass and Path to the Peak, but also in this kind of example is Melanie also leaving the format. Not going to go in detail about all the cards in this list, but the deck is entirely gone. What else is gone? It's going to be Mew VMAX. Mew VMAX was a deck that has always performed ever since its release in Fusion Strike, and this has been the continuous streak. Whether it is Drapion, Spiritomb, Mightyena, or even the Charizard EX recently released in Obsidian Flames, nothing was able to stop Mew VMAX and the Strack from taking championship points. So it even won the World Championships. This is probably one of the strongest decks in modern history of the Pokemon trading card game. And as mentioned, as the Fusion Strike Pokemon all leave the format, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to Mew VMAX and its cross Fusion Strike. The draw power of Genesect was actually kind of crazy. I've never seen that strong of a draw power ever since like Zoroark GX. But yeah, it is gone. All the Fusion Strike Pokemon, even Ice Cube, Meloetta, even the Fusion Energy, Alessa Sparkle, all those cards are gone. So the archetype is also, you could play Fusion Mew with Fusion Strike Energies, or just DTE with Disruption. And also, now that I think about it, because the attacker and the draw support is all gone, these decks have left the building. So no more Mew VMAX. Yeah, if we take a look at what else will be gone is, yeah, this is something a little bit more fun, but Zoroark from Evolving Skies always had such potential to make it big, ever since there's like a lot of stage 1 viable Pokemon that you can transform into with the Phantom transformation, but unfortunately we're gonna finally have to say goodbye to Zoroark, and it never saw the top success that people always claimed it would have, ever since like people, I think, like, well, from Evolving Skies all the way to the latest set, there was always like cool stage 1s that you want to utilize. There was Reversal Energy that also was great for a deck like this. There was the Slowbro from the Pokemon Go set. You think like, oh, now Zoroark will be good, and we always kept believing that it would be good, but unfortunately it is not good. Never was actually that good. It was having a lot of consistency issues, but it's also removed from the format. With that being said, this is also the attackers in this list. I would say maybe I should just, because this is actually with Melanie being gone. I think Palkia, pure Palkia decks will no longer be a thing. You have Star Portal, which sometimes can accelerate energy to Radiant Greninja. Now that I think about it, Suicune V is also gone, so Suicune V being gone, Melanie being gone, that means that a pure Palkia deck probably won't be a thing unless you're relying on Baxcalibur, and that's why I'm giving it the maybe treatment. So we have 3 categories completely rotated with the cross. We have the maybe category, and then a check if the deck passes the rotation. So with this, I would say maybe you could be playing like Palkia, Baxcalibur, and Friends, I suppose, if you still want to be playing a Palkia deck, but it's still going to be pretty tricky. And with that being said, the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX from the Chilling Rain set also leaves the building. So yeah, lots of VMAXs will finally see the end of days. So there's that. I think the only VMAXs that remain are the one, I think the one from Celebrations are also gone. I think all the VMAXs are gone, I suppose. I think, yeah, Brilliant Stars is going to be, it's going to be Brilliant Stars on, which means only V-Stars will be making it. Maybe some promo cards still around, but I have to recheck. But with that being said, Palkia decks will have to adapt to Baxcalibur. And talking about decks that definitely check the bar of, surviving the rotation, is chien-pao Baxcalibur with Bibarel. Bibarel from Brilliant Stars, drawing cards. The Baxcalibur from what is it? Paldea Evolved. So there's also the chien-pao. So yeah, all these cards stick around in the format. Even Radiant Greninja sticks around, Manaphy sticks around, the new Iron Hand, Iron Bundle. I think the only card in this list that actually is rotating, also gonna check real quick, the Irida also will still be around, because Irida was printed, of course, in a later set, so it has that F regulation mark. But as I want to clarify here, most of the cards stick around. Even Pokestop sticks around because it was printed in the Pokemon Go set, and the Pokemon Go set does contain that F regulation mark. The only mini set that rotates out is the Celebration set, so we're gonna have to think about like Flying Pikachu and like what else? Baby Mew. Mew from Celebrations was actually a pretty good card, but all the rest of the cards in this list stick around except for Battle VIP Pass. So in that regard, you might actually want to maybe revert to like Artisan as a way to set your Pokemon up, instead of like going for 4 Pokestop, maybe like 2 Pokestop, 2 Artisan as the way you can go. We can play Great Ball. I think Great Ball is also still part of the rotation. I think it still sticks around. Like Great Ball was printed in Paldea Evolved, so yeah, you can stick around with Great Ball. So there are alternative ways to have, of course, the reprint of Battle VIP Pass. Battle VIP Pass was a really explosive situation, but if you want to go wide, you can even add in more basics. You can add in an additional Bidoof, an additional Frigiback, so you have 4 Frigiback. So there's also a way you can cope with that. But this deck gets the check from me and survives the rotation nice and cleverly. Very good, because chien-pao is one of my favorite decks here. With that being said, next deck we're talking about is Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon is, in my opinion, checking the bar here, because Professor Sala's Vitality sticks around, and the only cards that are removed from this kind of list is Galarian Moltres V. But as we all know, you can also play a version like this with Pokestops and go a little bit more turbo. Add in like the Brute Bonnet is also an option, I suppose. But Roaring Moon still survives. Dark Patch also still around. Trekking Shoes still around. Switch cards, Ultra Ball, Bravery Charm, all that good stuff. You can even go for the Ancient Energy boost capsules. Also, everything sticks around except for Galarian Moltres V. So that's going to be kind of a tough pill to swallow. You could still run the Force Seal Stone because Lumineon doesn't rotate, so there's something you could work with that. And also, every deck will have to cope with the fact that Battle VIP Pass is gone. So without Battle VIP Pass, as mentioned, Great Ball is a nice way. But in this particular list, I would just go for Nest Ball, seeing as all your Pokemon are basic Pokemon. So it definitely checks the bar here, will survive, and will even adapt. There's going to be Walking Wake, which you also can include into a list like this. So yeah, Roaring Moon, start playtesting with it today because it's not going anywhere soon. Charizard EX. Okay, let me just say this. This is kind of a list that the only cards that you're gonna have to worry about are, of course, Battle VIP Pass for your widespread situation. Other than that, I think the deck just clearly survives. Rare Candy still around. Arvent is always around. I think the Rotom also still survives if I'm not mistaken. I should check real quick. Yeah, an F regulation mark. So Rotom also still around. Yeah, the Lumineon is still around. Pidgeot EX, also a recent card, actually came out in the same set as Charizard. Call for Family, Pidgeys around. Mew from Celebrations is going to be something to think about, because if you went first, Attach Retreat into Mysterious Tail was a great thing you could go for, but not the biggest loss, I suppose. Also, Mew fetched out the rare candies, so that was very interesting. Other than that, I think only VIP Pass is going to be a big loss, but that's going to be a big loss for everything. You could also just say we're running 3 Artisan on this list just to have the setup going, but Charizard survives the rotation, so hey. Yeah, it's also a recent deck. Would be weird that a deck like this is no longer around. Then Lost Zone boxes, a Lost Zone Giratina. Lost Zone box with the set where it came out in, I think it was the Giratina set. Let me just take that real quick, the Giratina set. Currently Lost Origins, yeah, Lost Origins still going to be around, so I think the entire Lost Zone engine doesn't face all too much of rotation shenanigans. You of course are losing Escape Rope, which was a very great way you can get rid of stuff like Klefki in the active position. I think Klefki becomes stronger with rotation because you no longer can easily push it away, so that means Lost boxes with the flower selecting will have a little bit hard, but in Giratina I think it doesn't matter too much as you can rely on Abyss Seeking most of the time. Path to the Peak is gone though, so the disruption with Roxanne, Path, and then Counter Catcher doing all this stuff. Without Path to the Peak, people will easily draw into an Ultra Ball for Lumineon and get themselves going once again. So Roxanne's and Iono's less powerful. You might resort to another stadium. I don't know if there's another disruptive stadium out there. There's the Pokemon League headquarters for basic Pokemon, I suppose, but also will impact you because you are also playing that Sableye in there. But you could be playing another version. Maybe we're getting more better support stadiums out there, but the stadium being removed here isn't, yeah, is actually pretty huge in my opinion, but it's definitely surviving because the entire core is still there. The only thing that is gone is like Escape Rope and the Stadium card. So it's a check for me. Lost Tina survives. But without Disruption, will it be as good? We'll figure it out. Then other lost boxes that we see success here is the Super Effective Glasses Lost Box. This also is losing that Escape Rope. As mentioned, Escape Rope could instantly get replaced by regular Switch, which is still in the format, and that means you still have enough Switch outs to go in and out the active with your flower selecting. As mentioned, this kind of list will lose the Galarian Moltres V, but that's not the biggest issue. Also, now that I think about it, VIP Pass in a list like this, you might want to add in like Artisans, in my opinion. You want to be playing 2 Artisans, maybe even 1 or 2 Ultra Balls, and maybe adding in Lumineon so you can have that as a Force Seal Stone target is not a bad idea. But I think Lost Box in general will survive because the only noteworthy cards like Escape Rope and Battle VIP Pass, as mentioned, every single deck will have to cope with the fact that Battle VIP Pass is gone. So maybe the format slows down a little bit, maybe deck building changes, but Lost Boxes will still be around. Gardevoir EX. I don't know. Can I count it off? Can I completely count it off? You could say like, no, the deck is gone because you lose Mirage Dab, you lose Shining Arcana, the big force of the deck. But in my opinion, the deck could still be, I would say maybe. I think it's a maybe here. And the reason why I'm saying it's a maybe, we have Drifloon with the Bravery Charm. We have Screamtail with either the Ancient Energy Boost Capsule or the Luxurious Cape. It's going to be fantastic. Or with Bravery Charm as well. So you have still the access to the most powerful ability that I've seen on a card recently. Psychic Embrace accelerates infinite energies from the discard pile and putting damage onto yourself. The cool thing with this kind of situation is that you can now drop your Shining Arcanas. Refinement is still in the format, which is the biggest thing ever, because that means the deck still retains its great draw engine, still has Psychic Embrace. You're losing Zacian V from the Celebration set, but that's all good because you can now focus on maybe more consistency, adding in Drifloon, Screamtail, adding in Bravery Charms, and you're gonna be good. Luxurious Cape can also help out with that. I think it's less good because your Curlios are now sitting ducks, I suppose, because they can no longer transform into like bigger numbers like the Shining Arcana. But the deck will have to adapt. Maybe people will figure out a better way in their post-rotation how this list fares. As mentioned, Fog Crystal is gone, VIP Pass is gone, and if I recall, Level Ball is gone as well. Let's just be taking a look at the Level Ball here. Level Ball E-Regulation Mark, yeah, as I expected. So all your great insta-playable item cards are gone. So you have to be playing 4 Nazball, 4 Ultra Ball, maybe an Artisan or 2. I think Artisan will help a lot of decks out, and maybe just play 4 Great Ball. You're playing so many Pokemon regardless, so if you have your setup, that's good. Yeah, the deck is, for me, a maybe. I don't know how you guys feel about Gardevoir post-rotation, but we'll have to figure it out together. Then, Snorlax Block. Okay. Snorlax Block. It's from the Pokemon Go set. Still keeps Rotom, still keeps Mimikyu, still keeps... I think Spiritomb will be less good as VMAX left the building, so remove the Spiritomb. Arven's still around, Penny's still around, Iona's still around, Misfortune's Sister around, Balsasaurus, Erica's Invitation, Avery... Is Avery gone? I think Avery's gone, if I have to call here. Yeah, Avery is gone, so people could just fill their bench with all Pokemon that can attack, and then it's gonna be very difficult. Sydney is gone, Peonia is gone, so you no longer have access to the cards in your prize cards, and most importantly, Echoing Horn is gone. But there are still decks out there that do not run a lot of switch outs. Definitely, yeah, Escape Row is gone. Will people play more regular switches? I would say for Snorlax Block also a maybe, because inherently, if you have Snorlax and people flip over a Lumineon and they don't have ways to retreat it, you win the game. That's how it always has been. Jirachi's still part of the format as well. Lost Box still popular, so Jirachi will also be in decks. So lots of decks out there that are playing support Pokemon that could get trapped. And with Snorlax Block in particular, without having access to the opponent's discard pile, the opponent will always discard useless Pokemon and put them in the discard pile, and you will have no access to trap them. So it's gonna be less good. You still keep Counter Catcher and all your good cards, I suppose, but without Echoing Horn in format, that's gonna be tricky. It's gonna have to be Erica Invitation on turn 1, hopefully YOLO behavior, and you grab something? I don't know. It's gonna be less good without Echoing Horn, that's for sure, because people can easily play around it. Then Miraidon, our good trusted tandem unit buddy, will be able to still fetch Zapdos from the Pokemon Go set, which is good for 230 numbers. Yeah, Iron Hand still in the end format. There is Raichu, Mew EX, Quackabilly, Raikou even. The only thing that I'm not too sure about, why I'm putting it as a maybe, Flaffy is gone. And without Flaffy, Energy Acceleration will become hard. On the other hand, I think Energy Sticker from the 151 set will be a nice way to get some additional energies into play. You do move up that bench space with like 2 Mareep, 2 Flaffy, add in some energy stickers to get energies back from the discard pile, and that could be the way it survives, maybe? Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah, Miraidon has a great ability. I know you lose Flaffy, but there's other ways to get energies into play. I know Raihan is gone as well, so you have to rely on YOLO-ness factor of energy sticker, maybe playing more energy counts so your generators are a little bit more powerful, but Generator is a great card, it sticks around. And I would say Miraidon survives, for sure. Yeah, there's also the turbo way of playing Miraidon, but since Peony from the Ela regulation mark. Yeah, Peonius rotates. I think you just have to disregard this. Also, Raihan is gone. So disregard this version of the Miraidon deck. Just say no to that version and just say yes to the other one and play some energy stickers. Maybe that's the way Miraidon will survive. But hey, that's my opinion. Let's go. Continue on with Iron Valiant Ante. Okay, what can we say about Iron Valiant, right? The card just recently came out. Ante is still part of the family of the F regulation mark, so you can still play Ante, Magma Basin as well. You just power up your Antes, go crazy. The only thing that is bad here is that Medicham V rotates. So Yoga Looping, forget about it. Radiant Charizard also still part of the F regulation, so it's still around in the formats. You just lose Yoga Loop, right? But inherently flipping around your Iron Valiant here and there is good. You do lose 4 switch outs, and that's also going to be the reason why I'm giving this a maybe. Without the 4 copies of Escape Rope, I think the deck loses a lot of switch outs. You might have to play more Jet Energies, but then, yeah, that clunks up your deck a little bit further, and yeah, who knows? Jet Energy onto an Iron Valiant is the way you can get in the active position, but you want the energy drop on the Ante V. I would just have to say maybe. You lose 4 switch outs, you lose Medicham, and Medicham was, of course, the way you cheese out games nice and easily. Lugia VSTAR was a very phenomenal deck ever since Silver Tempest came to the block. You keep all your powerful attackers here. Iron Hands still around, Radiant Charizard still around, Mew EX still around. You probably will no longer need Drapion, although Drapion can also deal with Gardevoir, but you will not use it, I guess. You can deal with Gardevoir, it's also like a Darkness type attacker, but the Shaman, I think it's also from Brilliant Stars, so it will also still be around in the format. You do lose Professor Burnats, and the deck is not as consistent as it used to be, and it's already playing Ultra Ball and Great Ball. It doesn't rely on Battle VIP Pass, so I think you could still, I think Lugia survives, but is it as good as it was like placed a couple of formats ago? Probably not, but it's a deck that contains most of its value. Arceus decks, there's still a plethora of attackers out there that you can pair with Arceus, most notably is like Arceus Giratina VSTAR. It's still around, you still keep your big barrel, but the deck, I think, is not going to be as good as it is anymore because you lose Path to the Peak, which is going to be the main way this deck doesn't lose to power creep. And in my opinion, without Path to the Peak, without you being able to judge path opponents and cheese them out, I think this deck, I would have to say no. I could be wrong on this, maybe you disagree in the comments below, but without Path to the Peak, I think Arceus is just an attacker that doesn't hit enough damage, and you cannot cheese out games. People will outrun this very easily, like a Roaring Moon would slap it. What else can we see? Maybe a Screamtail with Luxurious Escape can even slap it. What else? Like Giratina VSTAR and Lost Box decks can also just go rampant. They will not be shut down by Path to the Peak, and that's my main issue in a deck like this. Yeah, and then one more for the funsies of it. Clove Electrode loses the Spicy Curie. You might think, why Spicy Curie, Spicy Season Curie rotating? Well, it was a promo card over in Japan, and it's actually an E regulation mark, and even though it actually came in Astral Radiance, so that's actually pretty unfortunate. If you are loving this archetype, it's going to be pretty tough for you. The Hisuian Electrode still sticks around with the F regulation mark, but the problem we see here is that Spicy Season Curie is gone. You can still rely on Brute Bonnet and the Ancient Boost Energy Capsule, but that's only going to give you 1 special condition and not 2. With that being said, Clove can still do its muckus with its unhinged scissors or whatever it's called. But the problem I see here is that without Spicy Season Curie, you only have like one way to use poison, like a pure Clove deck. It's still not that great currently, so I would have to say no. Without Spicy Season Curie, like Electrode will only slap 200 damage, which is not enough against Charizard and stuff like Roaring Moon. Okay, that's most of the decks. If we take a look at the decks out there, we talked about Charizard, which actually survives. Gardevoir is a maybe. Lost Boxes and Giratina survive. Mew VMAX leaves the building. Miraidon survives. Chien-pao survives. Lugia survives. Inteleon VMAX Rapid Strike Box does not survive and rotates out. Snorlax block is a maybe because without Echoing Horn it's going to be a little bit difficult. Arceus gets power crept and can no longer cheese with Path to the Peak, so I would say no. Ante V is a maybe. On the other hand, I would also have to say no because you're losing 4 switch outs and Medicham. Roaring Moon survives. Palkia decks will have to rely on Baxcalibur, but you're probably probably then playing more on, I think chien-pao is better than Palkia still, so I would have to say for Palkia, maybe. Hisuian Gudra also still survives, didn't talk about it too much, but it survives, it's a Lost Box deck. Clovilacdroat is going to be bad, Goldango also survives, and for all the rest, like Zoroark rotates, and the rest I didn't talk about because they are not great. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of us running through the decks currently and which decks will be surviving the rotation. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in ridiculous ways you have no idea. This probably was going to be the last video of the year, so I want to wish you all a very, very happy 2024. Lots of health, and you're going to have lots of time with friends and family. I hope you guys have a great time. See you around in 2024 on the Zapdos TCG channel, where we're going to be, raising the bar. We're going to be playing the World Championships over in Hawaii, which is going to be a very cool way. We still have a lot of regionals left. Liverpool, there's also going to be Utrecht special event. There's going to be EYC. I have Dortmund regionals as well. So I'm going to be vlogging all that. You're going to be enjoying that. If you see me and the crew, just come and say hi. We don't bite. We are always happy to just take selfies and have a little bit of a chit chat. I want to thank every single one that watched videos of me throughout the year 2023. It has been a fantastic year. We've went all over the place, from Japan to all the most biggest regionals, EYC, London, you name it. It was incredible. I performed quite well. I was happy with my performance, and going into 2024, I'm so close to my Worlds invite, so I couldn't be any happier to share all these beautiful moments with you guys. Also, go check out my sponsors, Pokemonstore.com. Use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% off on TCG Live code cards. Yeah, definitely stock up your account because lots of new decks will be on the horizon, so you want those credits. There's also Dragon Shield for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. They are literally the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. I always use Dragon Shield sleeves throughout tournaments, so and I haven't breaked a single one, which is crazy. There's a way you can get 5% off by clicking that link below. There's yourplaymat.com to create your own custom playmat. Do so for the new year 2024. I always say new year, new playmat. Definitely go get some. There's 10% off currently by clicking the link down below, so create your own custom playmat. They ship worldwide, so definitely do so. And last but not least is CARDMARKET.com, the best European platform to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Definitely use the referral name ZapdosTCG to help support the channel. Have yourself a fantastic rest of the year. It's not going to be too long, but I'll be seeing you guys in 2024. Peace.